Globalization has had a profound impact on both internal and external sovereignty. When we look at internal sovereignty, globalization has led to increased interdependence between states. Countries are more likely to adopt international regulations and standards, which sometimes limits the ability of a government to act solely in its own interests. For example, trade agreements or international environmental protocols might require countries to adjust their policies, which can limit the state's power to fully control domestic economic or environmental practices. As for external sovereignty, globalization is creating a more interconnected world where states are less able to act independently. The rise of international organizations like the United Nations, World Trade Organization, and International Monetary Fund means that state actions are often guided by global rules and norms. In some cases, powerful countries or economic blocs might exert influence on smaller nations, effectively limiting their ability to act in their own best interests. Now let's discuss the relationship between states based on the ideas of realism and liberalism in international relations. From the realist perspective, states are seen as rational actors primarily focused on their own survival, security, and power. In a realist world, states act in their national interest, often engaging in competition with other states. According to realism, globalization doesn't fundamentally change the importance of states, it just provides new avenues for power and influence. Realists argue that in an increasingly globalized world, states may still seek to maintain or expand their power through alliances, economic influence, or military strength. For example, the relationship between the United States and China is often framed through a realist lens. Both countries act in their own self-interest, competing for global dominance, economic power, and strategic advantage in international affairs. From the liberal perspective, globalization is seen as a force for cooperation and peace. Liberals argue that states, by cooperating in international institutions and engaging in trade, can achieve mutual benefits and reduce the risk of conflict. According to liberalism, globalization promotes economic interdependence and the spread of democracy, making war less likely. States may still maintain sovereignty, but they increasingly rely on international collaboration to solve global problems. For example, the European Union is an example of liberalism in action. By integrating economies, political systems, and security frameworks, EU member states have fostered cooperation that has prevented conflict and allowed for shared prosperity across the region. Even though globalization challenges the traditional role of the state, it doesn't eliminate it. States are still vital players in managing their domestic affairs, making decisions on how to interact with the global economy, and regulating how globalization impacts their sovereignty. Whether through realism or liberalism, the way states relate to one another will continue to evolve, but their core role in the international system remains crucial. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more discussions on international relations and globalization. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.